how do societal norms and cultural background affect our response to criticism? How do our societal norms and cultural background affects our response to criticism, right? So, well, let's define what a social norm is, right? The types of social norms. So, there's a folkway, norms that stem from an organized causal relationship or causal interactions, right? So, suppose that you're running in the morning and you saw another runner, you say hello, or at least you don't like yell at them, right? You say hello, and then casually walk away or run away, right? Or let's say you meet a new person and so your friend introduced you to a new person, so you guys do a handshake, right? So this is very typical in Western American society where people introduce to each other, do a handshake. There is the more norms that structure the difference between right and wrong. So I guess in every society, right, there is this notion of what is considered right and what is considered wrong. Like take for example, lying. Typically lying is often considered wrong, right? Telling the truth is considered right, or extortion, right? Extortion is considered wrong. Like let's say torturing babies, right? Torturing babies is considered wrong, right? So these are mores, and then there's taboos, right? Strong negative norms, violating it result in extreme disgust. Violating it results in extreme disgust. What would be an example of taboo? I guess incest, maybe. Incest would be considered taboo, right? Is talking about politics in normal company considered taboo? Or like, for example, like talking about sex and politics in normal company, it's considered taboo, right? Yeah. So there you go. So there are certain topics that are considered taboo. And then there are laws, right? Norms that are formally inscribed at the state or federal level. So this has to do with society or the political, polity that you are in, right? Where within a political polity there is legislatures that make laws and enforces laws. So, and these formally inscribed, bills become laws by legislators and enforcers of laws, right? Like the police enforce laws, but set by, let's say, a bill that was passed in the legislature and approved by the president, right? So in every society, there is gender norms. Like in the past, past gender norms, you have earlier during the 1930s, the women were stereotyped as domestic housewife. They were related to chores of households. In the past, men were stereotyped as providers and were expected to work and provide shelter for food and support. So I guess in the past, for women, their role is primarily in the house, and they are supposed to be doing chores and housewife things. And for men, they are stereotyped as being providers that provide the food and shelter and support for the family. So these are past gender norms, but I think over time, because of economic needs, these gender norms might be changing as well, right? Because in the past, it might be okay to have one person, working and being able to provide for the whole family. Now I think that you need more people to provide. You need two person out there making money in order to provide for the family. So gender norms do change over time. traditional gender stereotypes. For example, being feminine entails not aggressive, being dependent, being easily influenced, being submissive, being passive, being home-orientated, easily hurt emotionally, indecisive, talkative, gentle, sensitive to others' feelings, very desirous of security, cries a lot, emotional, verbal, kind, tactful, nurturing. Being masculine is stereotyped to being aggressive, independent, not easily influenced, dominant, active, worldly, not easily hurt emotionally, decisive, not at all talkative, maybe having a calm demeanor where you don't talk a lot, tough, less sensitive to others' feelings, not very desirous of security, rarely cries, logical, analytical, cruel, blunt, not nurturing. Alright, so can you guys relate to these? Is this a gender stereotype still hold in our society right now? This is a question. Comparison of cultural values. So now we are moving from norms to cultural values, like cultural differences, right? So we have a comparison, some point of comparison, right? You have American culture, you have Japanese culture, you have Arab's culture. So Americans favor freedom, Japanese favor belonging, Arab favor family security. America favors independence, Japanese favor group harmony, Arab favor family harmony. Americans favor self-reliance, Japanese favor collectivity, Arabs favors parental guidance. American favor equality, Japanese favor age and seniority, Arab favors age. American favor individualism, Japanese favor group consensus, Arab favors authority. American favors competition, Japanese favors cooperation, Arab favors compromise. American favors efficiency, Japanese favors quality, Arab favors devotion. American favors time, Japanese favors patience, Arab favors patience. American favors directness, Japanese favors indirectness, Arab favors indirectness. Now, I'm not sure how true is this still, because I'm not sure if this is 100% true here. Yeah. So here's a picture of different type of cultural norms. Like in Japan, people bow when they meet each other. So you have culture. We talk about cross-cultural differences. So you have culture. What is a culture? You have culture. It represents language, right? There's communication. There's courtesies. There's rituals. There's roles in a society. There's customs in a society, in a culture. There's relationships in a culture. There's practices in a culture. There's expected behaviors in a culture. There's values in a culture. The dots, so there's different cultural dots in a culture. Manners of interaction, so it is unique to certain cultures. So manners of interaction in Japanese, manner of interaction, people bow when they meet. In American manner of interaction, they typically shake hands. So cultural norms. Cultural norms are the standard that govern behavior in a particular society. So you have definitions. Cultural norms are the unwritten rules of a society which prescribe how people should behave in different situations and prescribe what is acceptable and what is not. Example would be wearing certain clothes or head covering in religious settings. So wearing head covering. So immediately I'm thinking about maybe in the Middle East, there's a lot of women that cover their heads, right? Obeying your parents in collectivist cultures and following your own path in individualistic cultures. I think this is like there's a filial piety in Eastern cultures like China, Japan, Korea, right? Where you often follow, what your parents say, right? But I'm not sure how true is that anymore. By the way, cover one's mouth when you're yawning or sneezing. I think this is quite universal, but I could be wrong. So, is there any society out there where if you want to sneeze, you don't cover your mouth? I'm not so sure. I think this is pretty universal. Waiting in line or taking turns. Yeah, I think this is pretty different in different societies. Imagine if you live in an agrarian society. I think well, maybe waiting in line or taking turns might not be your thing, right? But if you are living in an industrialized society, this is common, right? Because you need to wait in line in the McDonald's, you need to wait in line to pay in a department store. So you have these examples like case studies where you're learning that the way you do stuff is to wait in line to take your turn, right?